Isn't that cute? Um, so today we're going to talk about the secret to do less and live more, all about productivity. Monisha and I met, gosh, not even that long ago, like a little over a month ago, and we were like, oh my God, we have so many things that are aligned with that we're working on. So we decided that it would be really awesome to kind of come together and talk about productivity. She just wrote a book, Practical Productivity, which is was number one on Yahoo's suggested things for was it Women's Day or Women's Month?
Yeah, International Women's Day, and it was for women who crave more time and something. I forget the
Something,
other word.
but she was number one. So anyway, and she is an expert on productivity. And for those of you who don't know me, I think I know everybody, but I'm Tamara Lucas. I am the founder and CEO of My Panda, amongst some other things, but that is the primary thing that I'm doing. And My Panda is the personal assistant next door app. And we are all about being a village of support to help busy people that have way too much on their plate to get it all done. So we have people from the local community that step in as our pandas to help with all that sort of stuff. So I'm all about productivity too and getting more done. So we'll go ahead and we will jump in. I just will stop the share so we can share. And I want everybody to know too, this is very open. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, we really want it really is a conversation. We don't have any more slides except for one at the end. So if you guys have anything to ask, feel free to jump in. Manisha, did you want to you want to have everyone put in the chat
Yeah,
something?
I was just going to say, I don't like to waste time, as you can imagine. So, if there's one thing in particular that attracted you to join us today, or that one takeaway that you'd love to get out of today's session, share it. Since we're a small group, happy to hear it. Or if you want to just prefer to put it in the chat, that works too. And we'll try to touch on it during our conversation.
Yes. And so we'll do that as you guys are thinking about that, if there's anything you have. So just sort of jump in because your whole framework all about productivity. So, and so many of us are high achievers. We're constantly working hard to do a gazillion things, but we always feel behind. So, and I think it's true for me, and I think it's probably true for everyone on here. So, why do you think that is? With what research you've done?
Great. And Pam, thanks for sharing that point about the living more part, because that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. What I realized when I was doing it all was I was spending a lot of time checking things off of my to-do list, the never-ending to-do list, because you never finish everything on your list, right? You don't read the whole internet, you don't watch all of Netflix, and you'll never finish every task on your to-do list. But I was getting burnt out trying to do that because I set this expectation for myself that in order to be happy and successful and all the things, I had to be productive and do all these things. But the big aha was that I was doing all the things, but I wasn't doing the things I really wanted to be spending my time doing. Right. So, okay, so now I've been productive, but I haven't spent time with my children, or I haven't been traveling, or I haven't been doing the fill my cup stuff. And so, when I first wrote this book and was thinking about it, it was all about, and I don't love the word productivity, right? It sounds heavy. It sounds like a lot of work. It sounds tiring, but redefining it to be how do you get the stuff you have to do done
Yeah.
so you can spend more time doing the things that you really love doing? And that to me is kind of the secret sauce of the whole thing, right? Like if you can figure out how to do all that stuff quickly and efficiently and get it off of your plate, that opens up a lot more time to do the things that you truly enjoy and the things that make you happier and the things that make you feel more balanced.
And the thing about that though too is like we only have so much time, right? So and like you said, it's unending, like it's constantly coming at us. Everything's that we never can get it all done.
That's right.
We have this guilt and we feel like if we don't get it done for some reason, we are a crappy person and we're
Yes.
not worthwhile if we can't get it done, which is not a kind thing to be saying to ourselves. And I think that a lot of us try to be like, okay, we have this much time, so let's manage that time. And so time really kind of can't be managed. So what other things do you think we need to be managing in order to like actually get all this stuff done?
Yeah. So it's fascinating to me in all my research. 80% of plus of us use a calendar to manage our time, right? And we're constantly playing Tetris, moving around blocks and trying to make it all fit. But at the end of the day, And if you do a time audit, it'll be very eye-opening for you to see where your time's actually going. And you can do it two different ways. You can do it like by going back. If you're good at using your calendar, look back at the last week and see where did all your time go, right? Or you can do it going forward and actually start tracking, and you'll be amazed at how much time is really unaccounted for,
Mhm.
and where you can really open up time. But what's interesting about and it's societally, obsession with time is that's the one thing we can't control. Like, no matter what you do, you can't stop it. You can't make it go faster. You can't make it go backwards. So, my theory is that instead of obsessing on time and trying to manage time, why don't we focus on the things we can actually control, which are our priorities, our energy, and our attention. And the third one is becoming even more critical with technology and all the distractions and the pings and the dings and all the scientists who are trying to fight for our attention. We have to fight for it back. And the other thing to think about when you're thinking about time, too, is when you're doing this time audit, if you do that, it's a simple math problem, right? Because if you look at the 24 hours you have in a day and you think about all the things you have to do, like you have to get 8 hours of sleep and you're working and you're commuting and you're exercising and you're reading and you're meditating and all the things. That's more than 24 hours. And that's not even accounting for the things we actually do with our time, which is doom scrolling and watching TV and socializing and, chatting on the phone. And so, because of this math problem, it impels us to prioritize. And we have to prioritize not only what we're working on, but who's doing it, right? Is it worth our time to be doing those? And then also be really discerning in the things we're not going to do, and being really critical about saying, you know what, this isn't helping me achieve my tasks. And it's interesting, if you really start looking at the things you prioritize
Oh, sh-
or the things you actually get done, a lot of them are not urgent and not important, but you do them because they're easy. And you're like, oh, I'll just do this. This is easy. This is fun. It'll get done and I'll feel good about it. And so we spend a lot of our time and energy just checking those things off of the list, but not feeling like we're really moving the needle. And so, really getting good about thinking about urgency and importance will help focus in on those things that will actually get results.
For that time audit, I have a quick question. So, do you think is like you sort of establish sort of buckets of sort of categories of your life when you're doing the time audit? Because I think because Emma said something about how she wants to walk away with a tactical strategy, and I think that kind of understanding how to do that is one thing that you can really learn to do. So, it's like, I'm working on growing my business. I'm working on making my business more effective. I'm self-care, like is it that kind of how that you should do it, sort of?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. If you have really clear goals and objectives on the things that you want to be moving forward, and the digital calendars make it so much easier to color code, it
Mhm.
is really pretty eye-opening to see if you color code those times and how they're kind of aligning with those strategic objectives. You'll visually have a cue card that shows you what things are you spending time on and what things you're not. Now, in my early days, I tried to do that with work life and work, personal and family. And I tried to color code it and make it evenly balanced. That did not work well. So I don't recommend that. But you can definitely see what things are driving your goals, right? And what things are you doing just to do them, and they're really not helping you, you know, get to that next level.
Yeah, it's that prioritization. I do a workshop on like a delegation workshop. And like it's a 4Ds framework, which I think is similar-ish to what you have. So it's like you do something that's just easy, you just can do it, get it done
Yes.
with, right? And then the things you delete, which is I have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, if it's continued to move from my to-do list day after day to week after week, do I really have to do this thing?
Yeah.
So
So I
it's like
call
get
that
rid of it.
that's the lingering task, right? That lingering task that just won't go away. And so what I recommend is just get rid of it, delete it,
Hmm.
let it go. And
Wow.
if it's really critically important, guess what? It will come
It'll come back.
back.
Yeah.
But you don't have to drag it with you every day and have it hanging there over your head. And I think that's one thing about cultivating your to-do list is we add and add and add and add and add. But when do you ever subtract? Like, one of the most powerful things you can do is take things off your list.
That you haven't even actually done. Just be
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna do it.
it's very empowering. You feel great when you do
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yes. Well, and the big other D, and this is the thing that feeds into my panda too, is the delegate, right? So it's
Yes,
finding those things that have to be done, but like you do not have to do it,
no,
right? And that's that. And when we're talking about we have a certain amount of hours in the day, if you can borrow someone else's hours, it like adds to your hours. So all of a
exactly
sudden your
right.
24 hours can become 26 hours if someone else is doing 2 hours of something you have to do. So
That's right.
that's like such an important part in the whole thing.
So we talked about prioritization, right? So if you're picking the most important things to do, the second piece is so we automatically regulate our energy when it comes to certain tasks. So for example, if you're late to catch a bus or a train, you're going to run, right? You're going to run. You're going to expend the most energy that you can to make that bus or train. However, if you're going to get the mail, you don't run. You walk. I don't know anybody who runs to go get their mail. Honestly, and sometimes I don't even bother to get the mail because it's like not urgent, it's not important, there's mostly junk in there anyway. And so you're automatically making a decision on how much energy are you going to use for that task, right? So in the same way, you need to kind of value your time and and prioritize how are you going to use your energy. And am I going to, if I have a set number of hours or set number of time in my day, and I really want to spend time with my kids, do I really need to be spending that time running errands?
Right.
Right? The value of that time is not the same. And I know we all want to do it all because we are fabulous people and we're very accomplished and very capable. But time is your enemy, right? You just are going to run out of time. So when you put it in that framework, it's not that you're less than because you're not fitting it all in the day. You're actually being smarter because you're being deliberate about how you're going to spend your time and you're going to do the most valuable things, not the least valuable things.
Well, that's like the concept of the ROI, right? So when you're talking about like what return am I getting on this investment of my time and energy that I'm putting in here? And do you have any like ways that we can measure the ROI of what we're doing? And like, because sometimes I mean, most of us probably run our own businesses or at least have some sort of sense of that. So having that sort of understanding, is there any sort of things ideas
Yeah,
you have for that? Good
use your
question.
billable hourly rate. I mean, those numbers are sometimes kind of out of whack, but think about it, right? Like if I'm working for a client and I'm charging this much, that is how much my time is worth, right?
Mhm.
So, and you can even back into that in creative ways if you're a salaried employee, you can still get to that number. So if you're doing tasks that others can do for less than that, no brainer, because it's freeing up your time to do that high value work.
Yeah. And there are the things that are just not even measurable too. Just the joy you get from playing with your dog or, gardening and
Yeah.
putting your seeds in the ground. That is stuff that I don't know. Some of those things can't be measured, I guess. And so sometimes
No.
you just have to go with what your feeling is. And I think that those feelings too, it leads into that the guilt and the difficulty of asking for help is so hard for people, like we mentioned a few minutes ago, because we've got all these like internal emotions that are kind of always coming up. But I think it's really important that we listen to those and we kind of process them and get over the guilt and acknowledge that we only have a certain amount of time, and then really do the things that feed us, internally and emotionally,
Yeah, I think
spiritually.
a lot of us tend to, we're pleasers and we're givers and we're doers. And so all of those things are expending our energy, right? We're spending our energy doing all those things. But in order to be able to do those things, you have to fill your cup, right? Like you have to recharge, you have to reset. And if you don't do those things, then you can't give and you can't deliver and you can't, so it really is a balancing act. And I equate it to a bank account is if you just spend all your money and you're not filling your bank account, then you're going to run out of money and you're going to run out of energy and you're going to run out of, the person that you want to be if you're not doing those recharging activities. So you've got to look at that the same way as all your tasks, all your to-dos. Put your massage on there, put taking a walk on there, prioritize those things just as you would any other task where you're giving and expending, because the more that you put into yourself, the more you're going to be able to give. right? And that's how I reframed the self-care is not selfish kind of thing for me was if I want to be the best mom and I don't want to be tired and I don't want to be irritable, or if I want to be the best manager, if I want to be the best person in the room who can be present and be there, then you've got to be able to take care of some of those things.
Yeah. It's the whole oxygen mask on you first, you know? I mean, it's true. We've got to be strong in ourselves, and in order to be strong, we've got to pour into ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
also like accountability partners, right? Like I try to walk 2 or 3 times a week. I will, if I find a friend and I'm accountable to doing it with a friend, I'm not going to then be like, oh, I'll just work for another hour and put off my walk, right? So
Mhm.
that way you kind of, hold yourself to making sure you make those commitments to whatever those things are that help you recharge. And another way that I look at the ROI of time is as you get more senior in your roles, right? Your value by being present and being there for your employees and sharing vision and listening to them and doing all those things, that has so much more value than doing emails till 11 o'clock at night, right? So really think about what is the extracted value that you're giving to others and then prioritize, do I really need to spend 3 hours going through all these emails or do I just let it go or let AI read them and tell me which ones I need to pay attention to. I mean, there's so many different tools out there that we're really blessed to have, including My Panda that, our parents didn't have those things. But so it takes it to us to then figure out, well, how do I leverage the tools that are available to me and the resources that are available to me to make sure that I'm using the time that I have in the most productive manner.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Emma put in here, this is like the classic procrastination, right? It's the things that you have to get done. Like for me, laundry and emptying the dishwasher. I swear that is why my panda exists because I hate both of those so much and I hate yelling at my kids to get them to do it. Like I'm over it. So like those are and they're not adding any value to life, but they have to get done and they have to get done all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, you said you want your time audit needs a time block being organized enough to do these things until you can afford a panda to do it.
Yeah, that's the end goal.
Right, this is ROI, right? You need to keep
Yeah,
working
yeah,
your job so you can start getting paid enough.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the thing about the dishwashing and Emma, to your point about something quick and easy, when I do these workshops, I always ask at the end, so think about this, what is the one thing you're going to try? And more often than not, it's what I call the 2 minute rule. Does anybody know what that is? Does anybody follow it? So
If
the
it,
two
Is that
minute
the
rule is
Dale
really
Carnegie thing?
simple, huh? What's
Is
that,
that the
right?
Dale Carnegie thing? Like if it takes 2 minutes, just do it.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly right. So if it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. Don't put it in your list. Don't think about it. And putting dishes in the dishwasher or taking the trash out are great examples. I mean, it's trash especially. It's like everybody's like, you see the full trash can, you're like, oh, I need to take the trash out. You don't do it. An hour later, you're like, oh, I need to take the trash out. By the end of the day, you're still like, I'm thinking about taking the trash out. So it's amazing. If you get those things off of your plate, just don't even think about them and rotely just do it. It not only does long run because now you're not spending an hour putting away, cleaning up your room or putting all your clothes away or, doing a stack of dishes at one time. It will save you time. But what's most brilliant about it is it saves you the mental energy where you're not thinking about it
hmm
anymore.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, the clutter
And it
brain
is
is so
really
much.
interesting. Yeah. And that's the
hmm
thing is taxing your brain to or freeing that up so that you aren't carrying that all day long.
Yeah.
Um, but if you haven't tried it, try it and see. It's pretty magical, actually.
I've been known to when I do things like that, I will go and actually like add it to my list
Yep.
She's
after I've done
frozen.
it so I can
oh,
Yep.
cross it off. Because I like the act of crossing things off my list. So I'm like, oh, I took a shower. Excellent.
Yes.
I do that all the time.
And you should, because it's scientifically proven that your brain is responding to that and it's going to motivate you to do more. And what I also like is have a ritual. Is it crossing it off? Is it checking it? What is the thing that makes you feel proud of your accomplishment? I do have an app. It's free. It's in the App Store. It's called Priorigami and it's a task management app. And in the app, it has a sound, so you can pick your sound.
Yes.
So there's applause, there's fireworks, there's an oh yeah, there's a Zen bell. But I mean, it's one of those things that just, reinforces the accomplishment and encourages you to do more. So that's
What do
very
you
real. And
click it
people do
on,
it.
you start a task or something, and then it gives you 5 minutes or something?
No, this is just simple. So I was talking about the time everybody uses a calendar, but 80% of people don't have a system to manage their tasks. They have like a to-do list and they have post-it notes and they have some things on their phone. They don't have a central system. So Priorigami gives you, it's free. It's a quick way to put in all your tasks. You can speak them. It's always on your phone. And then instead of looking at your entire list, like no one can do 18 things in a day, right? It makes you drag 3 to the top. Prioritize 3, your daily top 3, because 3 is manageable and you can do more than 3. It doesn't stop you from doing more, but at least it gives you the focus of here are the 3 things that I'm going to prioritize for the day. And it has work, family, personal, but you prioritize them together because we don't have 3 separate lives, right? So you prioritize today, I'm going to, do these things. And then it tracks your progress. It gives you a streak. It makes it fun. So
That's
Do you know
awesome.
if that is,
Is that Android and iPhone?
yeah.
Okay, good.
do you know if that's something where I've used like Trello before because 2 people can be on the same to-do list? Is Priorigami able to share with others?
Not right now. I just made
Okay.
it just truly personal. And the
Yeah.
thing, I kept it really simple intentionally with
Mhm.
not a lot of features because keeping your to-do list shouldn't feel like more work.
Right.
And
Right.
some of these things, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to update my Trello. Like it shouldn't be like something that you have to add to your list.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've kept it intentionally very, very simple.
The
Like the
Priorigami,
equivalent of
it's just like it's
having it
spelled
on paper.
just
Pardon me?
Priorigami or
Origami. Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go. There's a awesome tool. Yeah, I knew that you did that. I had forgotten all about it actually. So we'll have
Yes.
a second for a question. Pam, you have a question?
I just want to know if everyone is dealing with this. I have an email address that I've now had for work for about 10 years, and I've been added to lists and more lists, and I've added myself to lists. I know it's self-deprecating as well. And now I delete 95% of my emails, and I cannot believe how long it takes me to scan the name and realize this is all junk, delete. This is all junk, delete, and it's all day long. So anyone else having that, I almost feel like I can't change my email address, but I guess I could sit and give myself some time to unsubscribe to all of these. But I've done that, and they're still in my inbox, and I don't understand how that sometimes they don't unsubscribe you. So
That's
that's
true.
why I've stopped.
There's
Are
Just
they
services.
Gmail accounts or are they an Outlook?
it is a Google Workspace work email, but yes, it is
Okay.
Google Workspace.
Okay. So they have this new thing called subscriptions. So if you go down and look on the left, it's buried in there. But if you look at subscriptions, it gives you all the recurring emails and you can do it from there and unsubscribe from that screen.
Subscriptions. I see social updates, forums, promotions. Oh, manage subscriptions.
There you go.
Oh,
Wow. And then what do I do from this?
You can see them and then just unsubscribe from there.
Wow. I'm so
I just
glad I
made Pam's
asked.
day.
Look
look at
how
all
many
these
I
tools we're
have.
walking away with.
That's fantastic.
See,
Thank
this is
you
why I do
so
that
much.
because your face right now, if I could bottle that and be like, she
Yeah.
just had this major aha moment that is going to save so much time. And think about all those emails you don't have to look at
Oh,
anymore.
I know it. I know
That's
it.
so good.
I want
It's
to
if I,
share my
one of the questions I was going to ask you, Monisha, is like, if someone wanted to reclaim like 5 hours this week, like where should they start? And go into your email and do the subscription thing. Is Jenny, you have a question?
Related question. I too am excited about this solution. I also, you mentioned Outlook. I have a personal Gmail account and an Outlook work account. So I want to ask that, but I have a second layer to this question, which is I also carry the burden of tens of thousands of emails, and like nobody else cares, but they're a psychological burden to me.
Mhm.
And so I'm curious if there's a way for. So here's my hang up. Anytime I've had an actual interaction with an entity, maybe I've bought something or I've
Yeah.
participating in some way, I don't necessarily want to lose that history, but
Right.
I want to get rid of all the junk stuff they're sending me day after day. And so I'm curious while I'm doing one of these tasks, how I might do the other.
Yeah, you should be able to, like, if you ordered something from somewhere and you want the order tracking, you should be able to have that in your history, but still delete any marketing emails coming forward.
Like in the future.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out how to sort of
Okay,
clean out
good.
the inbox
Yeah,
closet,
because
if
it's
you
gotten
will.
way out of control. I mean, some of
Yeah.
these merchandisers will send you an email an hour, and I'm like,
I
what?
know. Why would they
Yeah.
do that? I was trying to explain to a guy who's on Substack. I was giving him advice. He sends like 4 or 5 Substacks a day, and I'm just grabbing them in bulk and deleting. And there's no training people sometimes. In fact, we're all trainable.
No, it's a lot. And also like it's difficult for those of us that try to get information actually to people in email because people don't look at the emails. It's like it's just overwhelm. And this is like the attention, right? So when we're talking about different ways that you can, our attention is something that we can control.
That's right.
And that it's hard because it's like not only the emails coming at us, but the news and the Substacks and the
Right.
TikTok and the Instagram and the everything. And it's just like, and we've got to do what we can do to control our,
And that is the third pillar. And somebody mentioned time blocking, but time blocking is really effective. So, what I tend to do is when I prioritize my top three things for the day, is look at my calendar and then slot in the time that I'm actually going to work on those things. Right. Because if I decide I want to do 18 things and I've got 8 hours of meetings, guess what? I'm just setting myself up for failure.
yeah.
That's not going to happen. That's just not realistic. But if I know I've got meetings at 10, 1, and 3, and I can, between 10 and 1, I'm going to do these two things, that sets your day up differently.
Yeah.
Gosh, and as we're already at noon,
I know. I'm
this is
like,
going to go by quickly.
shoot. I know we knew it was going to be that way. Well, we just want to get this to you guys so you have our emails in case you need them. If you're interested in purchasing Monisha's book, there's a QR code. If you're interested in downloading My Panda, you can scan that code. We'll get you to download the app. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. We're both also on LinkedIn. Is there any other questions or comments that you guys have? I mean, I know we could probably talk about this stuff for like a long time, but anything
Yeah.
else that's sort of burning for anybody?
I was curious, and just thank you both for this because I feel very, very seen, and it makes me happy when I realize I'm not the only crazy person out there trying to juggle a million things every day. And I don't even have kids, and I feel like my life just constantly gets away from me.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at time blocking. I'm working on that, and that's great. I was curious for both of y'all, whoever wants to answer it. What about like breaks in between those time blocks? Like, I think we're all so geared to be like 1 to 2, I'm doing this, 2 to 4, and like I try to be, and I'm guilty too. So then I'll do like 1 to 2, and then so like 2:15 to 3:15, and just try to also build in like a little break to let my brain go. Like, just how do you kind of work with that?
Yeah, I think that's really important, Ryan. Have you heard of the Pomodoro technique?
No.
So Pomodoro was named after that kitchen timer. There was the tomato, and you don't need that anymore. You just use your phone. But the technique basically is that you've got for focus and then also giving yourself a break. And Pomodoro is 25 minutes and a 5-minute break. I do 20 and 10 just because that works better for me.
Yeah.
Where in that time block, I do a 20-minute sprint focused on that effort, and then I do 10 minutes of a break. And that's either movement or checking my email or doing whatever it is.
Yeah.
And what also that also allows me, and this is that focus part, right? It allows me to stay focused and not keep checking my phone or checking other tabs or checking email because I know I have 10 minutes to do that
Mhm.
Okay.
after my 20-minute focused
Mhm.
effort. And then it's really interesting in the beginning when you start doing this, and Emma, it's like you have experience with this. When you start doing it, 20 minutes feels like forever. Like you've been working and you're like, oh my gosh, how long has this been? It's been 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you get used to it, you will be shocked how much you can do in 20 minutes. Like I can write a whole
Yep.
blog post. You can do like
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Retweet to Pomodoro. I literally, I'm a nerd, so I literally will like yeah, I put a note then in there, but I'll Google
Yeah.
like YouTube, Lord of the Rings vibes, Pomodoro 50-10, and there's like 100 videos out there, and it keeps time for you, and it set like I lock in using Pomodoro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Emma, which
Uh,
cadence do you use? What works best for you?
I actually do for day job stuff. If it's a heavy like writing deliverable catch up on email day, I'll do the 50-10.
Yeah.
If I'm like doing chores around the house, I'll do the 25-5.
Okay.
Because in 25 minutes, I'll be like, oh, I tidied the kitchen and the living room and changed the laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, it's great.
Thank you for that. I'm going to check that out.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
I
very.
can use any help on that. Like one thing like after this, I'm going to go eat lunch and take my dog for a walk because it's beautiful out. So like having a dog has forced me to go take breaks, which I love
Right.
because I can look at the sky and the trees and all that. But then I'll come back and like stare at my computer for 3 hours and like maybe half or 2/3 of that time is productive. And the rest I'm like working. And then I'm like, what's going on my
Yep.
phone?
Uh-huh.
And it drives me nuts. And then I get frustrated at myself and I'm like, man, I'm just like, and then I get scattered and all that. So these are just great reminders to about little focus
And those
blocks. So thank
switching
you.
costs, Ryan, not only do they take a toll on you mentally, but it's exhausting, like going back and
Yeah,
forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it takes longer. At the
it
end of the day,
does.
it's gonna take
And I know
longer.
that. And then I get angry at myself for doing it. But
Right.
like I see this little thing sitting here, I look at it. And so even for me, a little mental hack, if this is helpful for anybody, I'm sure y'all probably do this too, is like I'll put my phone on do not disturb. And so that way, like that tells me like no one can get me.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting on anybody because it's all up here. It's all
Yep.
self-inflicted. So that
Absolutely.
little hack helps me a little bit
Yeah.
sometimes.
And even put it in a drawer so you don't see it
Yeah,
for
or in the other
you.
That's true.
room.
Yeah, put it out of sight. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I wish I could just throw it in the lake.
I
You can
know.
do that too. You'll survive. I promise you will.
You would.
We did for a long time without them.
I
Yeah,
know.
there's one chapter in my book that's called I Forgot My Phone and I Survived. And it's literally a day without my phone. And guess what? It was fine.
Oh my
It's
God, that
fine.
sounds
So
incredible.
20 minutes or I walk without my phone. I don't take it with me. And your brain changes. Just not having it there, it feels different.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, what if you need a phone? I'm like, every other person has their phone. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me borrow their phone.
Yeah, I don't sleep with mine's in the kitchen plugged in. I leave and I run a children's curriculum and the teen module course called Don't Be a Phony.
Yeah.
We ask them, and
Cute.
it's like, how are you a phony and inauthentic online, but also just addicted to your phone? They take a 4-day break from social media. They are
Mm,
allowed to text. They are allowed to have human person-to-person conversations, and they can talk on the phone, and that's it. That's what they're allowed to do, and that literally destroys them until they do it, and then they're like, "Wow, that wasn't really." I really enjoyed the time I spent with friends, and then we asked them to delete at the end of the experience. We give them ideas on how to fill that time, and then at the end we give them delete who you don't know on your contact list because that cute boy that looked like a 14-year-old is not. It's a 70-year-old man who's staring at your sexy selfies,
Oh,
right? So we go there and have them, and there's been proof of effectiveness of it. So just letting you know.
man,
thank you.
it's
Thank you.
important. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up. This is great, you guys.
Thank you all for your
Monisha and I are gonna
time.
try to keep
Thank
on
you.
doing some more stuff like this. We just wanted to have a chance
Yes.
to get together and share some stuff with people. Really, really thankful that all of you showed up and for your contributions. Thank you, and reach out to us. You know how to get us.
Yes, yes, Tamara, call me. I
Thanks,
Take
Tamara.
care. Thank you all.
Later.
Have
Thanks
a
y'all so
great
much.
Thank
weekend.
you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.